In our world that's always on, always connected, do you ever get that feeling, that deep down, almost primal urge to just be alone? Well, today we're going to dig into why that feeling isn't some kind of weakness, but actually a massive cognitive requirement for your brain. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's that feeling at the end of a crazy long day, or maybe even in the middle of a party where you just wish you could hit a pause button on everything. It's this universal desire for a quiet little corner, even if it's just for a minute. But what if that craving isn't you being antisocial? What if it's a critical signal your brain is sending you? Kind of like the fuel gauge on your car hitting empty, screaming at you that it's time for a pit stop. Okay, so first things first, we've got to draw a really clear line here. Wanting some quiet time is not about being lonely. It's about being alone. And trust me, as we're about to see, those two things are worlds apart. Exactly. I mean, think about it. Just like your body absolutely needs sleep and food to function, your brain has this non-negotiable need for solitude to be at its best. This isn't some social flaw, it's just essential brain maintenance. So why does this feel so much more intense these days? Well, it's because our brains are under constant assault. They're dealing with the hidden costs of living in a world that, let's be honest, never really shuts up. And the big idea here is something called cognitive load. Here's a way to think about it. Imagine your brain's working memory is like the RAM on your computer. Every single email, every notification, every conversation, it's like opening another browser tab. And you know what happens when you open too many, right? The whole system just slows to a crawl. And this is the daily tug-of-war our brains are in. On one side, you have the relentless noise of the outside world just hammering away. But on the other side, your brain is quietly begging for a chance to recover, to connect ideas, and to just think. Without you stepping in to give it a break, the noise is always going to win. But here's the good news. There is a solution, and it's actually beautifully simple. We just need to start thinking about silence differently. It's not an absence of something, it's the presence of something vital, pure, high-octane fuel for our brains. This quote really just says it all perfectly. Silence isn't just empty space. No, it's an active ingredient. It's the resource the brain uses to bounce back from all that cognitive load and finally start connecting the dots between everything it's been taking in. And this is such an important point. Being in solitude isn't about being bored or zoning out. It's about creating the perfect environment for your mind to finally do its deep work, the sorting, the processing, and all those creative leaps that are just impossible when it's constantly reacting to outside noise. And all this refueling, it has a massive payoff. It is the key that unlocks what researchers call high-level processing. In other words, it's the gateway to our deepest, most creative, most insightful thinking. And the path to get there, well, it's actually pretty logical when you break it down. First, you have to consciously step away from all the noise. That's what lets you get into a state of silence. And that's when the brain can finally recover and refuel. Only then can those real aha moments of insight start to bubble up. Have you ever had a brilliant idea just pop into your head out of nowhere while you're in the shower, or maybe on a quiet walk? Yeah, that is not a coincidence. That's your brain finally free from distractions, doing what it does best, taking all these scattered, random thoughts and weaving them together to create something brand new. So what's the game plan? How do we actually put this into practice? Well, the key is to stop waiting for solitude to just happen by accident. We have to start treating it as a deliberate, absolutely essential practice for our own mental health. So let's think about the tools we've just put in our mental toolkit. We now have a way to recover from mental burnout. We've got the fuel to connect new ideas. We've got the key to unlock our best thinking. And maybe most important of all, we have an essential reset button for our brain. Look, if there is one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this. Don't wait until you're completely fried. Start treating solitude like you treat exercise or eating well. Put it on your calendar, protect that time. Seriously, it is not an indulgence, it's a fundamental necessity. So I'll leave you with one final, pretty important question. It's not a matter of if you need a break anymore, it's a matter of when you're going to take it. So take a look at your week. When are you going to schedule your next brain reset?